No sooner does one journey end as the next one begins. So a couple of weeks ago I had a pretty big idea, and I was looking into hydrocyclonic filtration because the river that this pump site that I've built is going on is full of sand, and the only real issue when it comes to the spray heads, so there's 6 pivots, is grit in the heads, and you're constantly 3 to 4 times a summer having to clean out the heads. So this is a beginning video of a series of videos is coming, because you thought this was reasonably intense. So this is rock solid and complete now. All I got to do is take it down, put it on the river, put the pumps off it, hook it up, slow starters on it, and we'll have 3,500 litres a minute. So with 3,500 litres a minute, the conundrum that I had was with hydrocyclone filters, it turns out the biggest you can get on the market is 8-inch. And I spoke to them about 8-inch, and they said you'd have to put 2 in parallel on a manifold. And I went down to the steel shed, and I was like, isn't it interesting that I found a 10-inch by 12-inch reducer? And I had this baby sitting there, 10, 12-inch thick steel pipe, the exact size you need for the top of a hydrocyclone filter, and a manhole cover that was also 10 mil. So what I want to show you is, when you've got to cut out circles, get rid of the excess. What I couldn't believe is that plate was the size needed to get the top for the cyclone filter. So when you're cutting out big circles, just, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. This actually makes it a very doable way to create precise circles. Then you can just use the bigger grinder to round it off. This will sit on top of that, and then that will be coned from the the bottom of it, so that plate will sit on the top, and from there it will be angled in to the angle of that 10-inch to 12-inch reducer. So it'll be about 3.5 meters tall. Now, I thought to myself, why not just make one? And I went down to the steel shed, and from the mines there was a load of 12-inch elbows. So I'm going to make a 12-inch hydrocyclone filter. I've got a load of these, plenty of flanges, and so I'm going to have to shoot 12-inch through the side of it, and then I'll have 12-inch coming out of the top of it, and at the connecting point, so this plate will go on it, I'll have a bit of pipe come up, and I'll use a flange. And then because then I've got a flange, I can then just flange an elbow off and down and in and into the 12-inch main. But maybe one of the biggest hydrocyclone filters on the planet. I don't know if anything's bigger. There's none on the market. So this is an introductory video to the next step. Now, what I find interesting is, on a good day, you see these 8-inch pipes. You can do 1, 2, maybe 3 welds, maybe 3 if you're trying, and that'll do a box. It may take 2 days of welding to get around it once. And so I've got to weld on the outside, triple fillet it, weld on the inside, triple fillet it, and then I've got the 12-inch to drop in it and cut the hole and bring the stuff out the other side and have the pipe that comes up through it, and all the intricacies that happen inside of the actual filter itself. But watch this space, because like with center pivots, they've got the stands that hold them up. I've got a feeling I'm going to use one of those center pivot stands to hold this filter up. So onwards and upwards, and we've just had an upgrade. We've gone from your 6 and 8-inch, and now we're up at 2 foot, 1 foot and 2 foot. Great stuff. It should probably be, I reckon, all up with all the pipes and fittings and whatnot, over a ton. So banking on a few things to ensure that it gets in, but this will be the project for the next at least 6 months, I would say, as I do other things as well.